Right. Welcome once more. We want to look at diseases and prevention. Diseases and prevention. Who can tell me diseases that you know? Any diseases that you know? Sean, can you tell me?
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus, yes, it is a disease that most of us have heard about it. Yes, TC?
Cancer.
Yes, cancer, a deadly disease. Another disease, Pinky? Unmute, Pinky.
HIV.
Huh?
Yeah,
What were you saying, Pinky?
HIV.
Yes, HIV and AIDS. Also, that was a disease, it's a disease which most of people were afraid of. But now people are relaxed and they are now talking about coronavirus. Who is that one by the corner? Because here I can just admit HP. Who is HP? Who is that one? Yes, my boy.
Cholera.
Yes, cholera. Freddie, who is Freddie? We don't have Freddie. Freddie, what grade are you in, dear? I think you are lost. In what? Grade 3. Bye-bye. Please leave. This is not for grade 3, Freddie. You have Freddie. Sorry, my dear Freddie. Just log out. Log out. Log out, Freddie. This one is for upper grades.
Manin. Where's the class yangu kile?
Yes, it's not yours. Please log out. You are done. Your class, you will be coming at half. All right, Freddie. Who is Freddie? Right, let us continue. I had said you are talking about diseases, and you are talking about diseases and prevention. Diseases and prevention, isn't it? Right. In what we want to talk about are the epidemics. We've got different diseases where we have the epidemic diseases. Right. And also we look at some other diseases. What are we saying? We are saying an epidemic is when an infectious disease spreads to a large number of people in an area within a very short time. Diseases such as cholera, typhoid, influenza, and Ebola are some examples of epidemic diseases. They spread is an infectious disease that is spread to a large number of people. Those are the diseases which are known as epidemics. Okay, do you understand that? And the examples of these are cholera, typhoid, influenza, and Ebola, amongst others. All right. If an epidemic disease spreads to such an extent that it infects people throughout the whole world, then it is now known as a pandemic disease. As we have got this corona. HIV is an example of a pandemic disease because it is now considered to be a global disease. People infected by HIV can be found throughout the world. COVID-19 is a recent example of a pandemic affecting the globe. If this disease spreads all over a large number, it now becomes a pandemic. Okay, HIV, Ebola, as we have said. How epidemic diseases spread. Epidemic diseases can be spread from one person to another very quickly through water, air, sexual activity, and direct contact. That is how it is going. It can be spread. Epidemic disease can be spread from one person to another very quickly through water, air, sexual activity, and direct contact. That is the epidemic. Waterborne diseases. These are diseases caused by pathogens which are transmitted through water. Contaminated water usually contains these pathogens. Cholera and typhoid are examples of waterborne diseases. Right? Look at this boy. The boy is drinking contaminated water. Ashley, put your hand down, please. Ashley. Your hand, Ashley. Can you hear me? Right. Ashley is frozen there. Cannot hear me. Right. We also have airborne diseases. Some epidemic diseases can be spread through pathogens found in the air that we breathe in. Diseases such as influenza and tuberculosis are spread through breathing in air with these disease-causing organisms. Sexual transmission. Sexual transmitted diseases such as HIV, AIDS, gonorrhea, and syphilis can be spread through having unprotected sexual intercourse with an infected person. Then we have direct contact. Epidemic disease such as Ebola are spread through direct contact with the blood or other body fluids from an infected person. Preventing the spread of epidemic diseases. How can you prevent these spread? We've got now Ebola, HIV, which is sexual transmitted, we've got COVID-19. How can this be prevented? Practicing good hygiene, such as washing your hands with soap and clean running water regularly, can help to prevent the spread of epidemic diseases. Avoid washing hands in stagnant water. Sanitizers can also be used to prevent the spread of epidemic diseases such as COVID-19. These are the prevention measures. Washing hands after going to the toilet and before eating anything helps to prevent the spread of epidemic diseases such as cholera and typhoid. Avoid washing from the same dish with other people before meals. Avoid using the bush for toilet routine. Using toilets properly also helps to prevent the spread of cholera and typhoid. Covering your mouth while coughing prevents the spread of airborne diseases such as influenza and tuberculosis. Some hygienic habits are shown in Fig 3.2 and Fig 3.3. These are the what should be done in order for you to prevent the spread of these diseases. Wash hands under running water. Don't use the same dish when you are washing your hands. Also, cover your mouth while coughing. Others cover under your arm there to prevent these diseases. Also, bandaging cuts and wounds as soon as possible. You also should seek vaccination and antibiotics for infections. Vaccines are given to people so as to protect them from infections. Vaccines enable the body to build defenses against infections such as influenza. Antibiotics are drugs or medicines given to someone who has been infected by a bacterial infection. Antibiotics can kill bacteria inside the human body. Those which are being spread by diseases such as HIV/AIDS, abstain from sexual intercourse before marriage to avoid. Also practice safe sexual intercourse by using a condom. Those are the prevention of the spread of this epidemic disease. Don't forget that I said epidemic diseases are infectious diseases which spread to a large number of people in an area. Hello, can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
You can see me?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't see you. What is happening?
No, teacher.
You were seeing me. I had lost you. Right. I was saying, right. I was also talking about airborne diseases. You should be able to say which ones are airborne, sexual transmitted. You should say which ones, and also the preventions, also taking antibiotics to prevent these. Also, people suffering from some dangerous epidemic diseases are quarantined we've heard of the COVID-19 whereby people are quarantined. To quarantine is to isolate infected people or animals so that they do not mix with people not infected by that particular disease. Quarantining prevents the infection from spreading quickly through the population. For example, people excuse me, people infected by the Ebola virus should be kept under quarantine until they are fully treated. All right. So that is how these diseases could be prevented. Right, let us listen to these questions. I just want to find out if you are following. Please, if you can mute yourself, may you please do so. There are others who can mute themselves. All right. Which of the following is not a medium through which epidemic disease spread? We talked about how these spread. Which one is not a medium through which epidemic disease spread? Is it water? Is it air, sexual activity, or an exercise? From these ones, which one cannot spread the epidemic? Yes, Takutswa?
Exercise.
Yes, when you exercise, you cannot spread any disease. You cannot spread any epidemic disease. But you find that you have got in, if you play in water, which is, even if you drink contaminated water, you can have the epidemic diseases. We also have waterborne diseases. These are the ones that are caused by pathogens which are transmitted through water. Also cholera, typhoid. So water is a risk. We also have airborne diseases which also spread through pathogens, those which are found in the air which we breathe in. These are such as influenza, tuberculosis. So we cannot say air is safe. Also sexual transmitted diseases, which include HIV, AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis. So sexual activities. But when we exercise, we cannot spread any of these diseases. All right. Which disease from the following is sexually transmitted? Typhoid, gonorrhea, cholera, Ebola. Which one? Yes, Charmaine?
Ebola.
Sexual transmitted, Charmaine. Yes, Pinky?
Gonorrhea.
Yes, gonorrhea. It is such an STI, sexual transmitted disease. Ebola is a pandemic. It is the epidemic which is spread to large number of people. We talked about the Ebola, cholera, typhoid is not sexual transmitted, but sexual transmitted diseases include HIV and AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis. All right. What name is given to diseases that spread by pathogens found in contaminated water? Contaminated water? What name do we give to those diseases which are spread by pathogens that are found in contaminated water? Maibong, you are not following. Ashley? Ashley? Ashley, can you not hear me? TC? Yes, Takuswa?
We name those diseases. We name
No,
those
why?
diseases
Are they waterborne? Are they water-related?
waterborne diseases.
Yes, yes, very good. They are waterborne diseases. Right. Define an epidemic disease. What is an epidemic? What kind of a disease is called Maibong? Epidemic?
An epidemic disease is a disease that spreads fast to a large number of people.
Yes, very good. It is a disease that spread to a large number of people in an area within a very short space of time. We have an epidemic, COVID-19. It is spread to a large number of people. You hear that in 2 hours, so many people have died because of COVID-19. That is an epidemic. It's a disease that spreads to a large number. It's only not one person, but you find thousands of people are being killed. They are dead. That is what we call an epidemic. How does washing hands prevent the spread of cholera? Washing hands? How does it spread cholera? Ashley, can you hear me? You are frozen, you are freezing. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How does washing of hands prevent the spread of cholera? Ashley? Is Ashley here? Yes, Takutwa.
Washing hands with running water stops the spread of cholera.
Yes, it spread the spread of cholera because you find that our hands touch so many things. They touch so many things. We go to the toilet, we sneeze, we do a lot of things using our hands. But then if we use soap to wash our hands in running water, that will stop the spread of these diseases. They take off germs which will be found in our hands. In what way does quarantine stop the spread of an epidemic disease? Quarantine? Quarantine? Can we hear Pinky? How is that done? Maibong, can you tell us again? People are quarantined here. How does it stop the spread of epidemic diseases?
Quarantine stops
Yes.
the spread of epidemic diseases.
You know that people, yes, Takutwa. Let's hear Takutwa.
Being quarantined stops the spread of epidemic diseases because if we're in town, we are too many and we can spread it very easily if we walk around at the same place every day.
Yes, very good. When quarantine means you are in one place, all those people who have the disease, they don't move around where there are a lot of people. They are just there. So it helps, because if those people are allowed to just move all over, it means a lot of people are going to be infected. But now if people are quarantined, they are alone there, they cannot spread the disease easily. All right. What else is a measure of preventing the spread of epidemic disease? What else can someone do? Yes, my boy?
Avoid washing hands on the same dish.
Yes. Avoid washing hands using the same water in the same dish. Wash your hands in the running water. How else, Ashley? Prevent the spread. How else, Ashley? Charmaine, how else? Yes,
by using
Sean?
the toilet properly.
Yes, use the toilet properly. Sean?
Covering your mouth when you are coughing.
Yes, very good, Sean. When you are sneezing, when you are coughing, cover your mouth. You listen to these songs which are being sung these days for COVID. Yeah, avoid the crowd. Cover your mouth. Sanitize. All these will make you prevent the spread of epidemics. Can you name one airborne disease that we talked about? One airborne, please, quickly. Our time is not on our side. One airborne, yes, Sean?
Coronavirus.
Airborne, which is spread through air. Through air. Yes, Charmaine. Charmaine. What is that?
Influenza.
Influenza, yes. Tuberculosis. Those which are spread through breathing. All right. Today we are many. It's very, very interesting. If you may keep up doing this, this is pleasing. Right, our time is not on our side. We are going to end here. Then we are having yet another lesson that is coming English. So let's look in for the last lesson. It's a